Okay. Theo with ASTV. Joining me is Coach Harry Mahesh of the Pilot Mound Buffaloes, the varsity female squad. Harry, thanks for taking some time this evening. I know you just got off the ice. How was practice this evening?
It was good. Yeah, we've played a few games now, so the practices are kind of starting to amp up a little bit. I know the girls are excited for this weekend, especially playing at home. So, no, they're going good so far. Good week.
For sure, for sure. We'll get to how many more practices till we start our games on Friday? We're gonna go every day, or are we gonna take a day off?
No, well, we played a couple games this weekend, and we practiced twice. We'll practice tomorrow and get on Thursday, and then we get at it on Friday night.
Friday, 6 o'clock, the first game against the Okanagan squad. Before we get to that, let's talk about the team makeup this year. I mean, you lost both goalies from last year, two brand new goalies coming in. Heaven's done a fantastic job thus far. Is she your number one this year, or is we going to be splitting time this weekend?
As of right now, she's number one. She's kind of taken that title and run with it. Yeah, she's been fantastic for us. And we played 7 games, and she's been more than our MVP up till this point so far. And we expect big things from her. I know she's hungry to go, and this is the first real opportunity she's had, and she's thrived so far.
If a goalie could eat by the number of shots they faced on a daily basis, she'd be eating, because she's faced a ton of shots, lots of rubber thrown at her way. I think she saw almost 50 shots in a couple of games out in Saskatchewan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We just had a couple practices under our belt. We went out there, and she had her work cut out for her, and she did fantastic. I mean, she kept us, relatively in the game, and fatigue catches up, but she's a gamer. She likes it. At times we had to tell her, it's okay to cover the puck and let the girls rest, but she just, she thrives under a lot of shots, and it is what it is as a
there
coach.
It is. So looking over the roster this year, Harry, we've got a lot of we had 7 returning players. A couple of girls I recognized from last year, of course, doing interviews with them. What do you want from your veterans this year that have played here in Pilot Mound to give as an experience, as a veteran quality for these new players coming to a small town, getting used to the academics and the schedule of what it is at Pilot Mound Hockey-Academy?
I think for them it's a lead by example. I tell the girls at this age that they don't have to do a lot of talking. I mean, we're going to spend a lot of time together. Just show up, do the right things. They know what to expect from me. They know what to expect from Brad. So there isn't a whole lot of teaching from our end. We're trusting them to kind of implement our routine to the new players, and that way me and Brad can kind of sit back and watch them go a little bit. So we're not really doing a whole lot of hands-on with our veterans. We kind of want them to be, taking charge, and again, mostly leading by example. We have appointed a captain this year, Harmony Chakous, who's a third-year player, and then Gracie Perry, another third-year player, as an assistant captain, and they've been fantastic so far for us in getting the girls organized and ready to go.
You mentioned 2 names that I was actually going to bring up right away for you, but you beat me to the punch, Harry. With those 2 players, the goal scoring has to come from somewhere, because with the veterans that have left, that's about 125 goals that have disappeared this year compared to this year. Do you expect a lot of goal scoring from throughout the 3 lines, or are we going to be, heavily weighted on 2 or 3 veterans to kind of lead the role there?
It's going to be scoring by committee, including defense, and if Heaven wants to chip in, she can chip in too. But no, it's a different dynamic for sure. I mean, we got 6 defense this year as opposed to 5 last year. Every one of our D-core is eligible to come back next year, so we're young. Up front, we have veterans, like Gracie, Haley Anderson, puts up points. Sydney O'Dowchuk puts up points, but we're expecting everyone to chip in, throughout the lineup here. We have some girls new girls up front, who are eager to contribute. So yeah, it's going to be by committee, and that's kind of the way most coaches would probably prefer it.
For sure. And with the female program, a lot of turnover, especially from last year. Yeah. Looking at the new players, you've got a lady from Banff Hockey-Academy, Cross Lake, Manitoba, a couple from the Yukon. Tell me what it's going to be like if the girls have worked on the first couple of weeks in the first month of school, and how have they been able to settle in Pilot Mound?
So far, so good. I mean, there's a bit of a learning curve. Some handle it better than others, and that's to be expected. In terms of on the ice, I think I wouldn't say anybody's overwhelmed, but this is definitely a step up from where everybody's come from in terms of the amount of workload of games and practices, balancing it with school. I think they're all eager. I think that, like I said, they were surprised at just how daily the grind is. I mean, we're only 3 weeks in, and injuries are creeping up. Like I said, last year's team was already a bit of a veteran team. This year, I see our age already. In terms of the odd injury that lingers a little longer than it might actually need to be. So yeah, no, it's a good dynamic of girls. Every girl here for the right reason, and yeah, I think they're all excited and slowly getting settled in. But there's still a few bumps, here and there.
So we had a bit of a weekend in Saskatchewan a couple weeks back. We're now playing in our first regular season weekend. It's home games for you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you're taking on Okanagan on Friday, and then you have a back-to-backer on Saturday, 1 in the morning against Delta, in the evening, RHA. And you finish up the 4-game series against Coeur d'Alene on Sunday. Have you been able to take a chance to scout some of these teams, look at some of their pros and cons, and what are you expecting out of the 4 games?
You know what? The league started last weekend. I think OHA and Coeur d'Alene have probably played. There was a close 1-0 win for OHA and a 5-0 win. To be honest, I don't do a whole lot of scouting. I just kind of watch and get an idea. But once we start, we're gonna play these teams a lot. So every team's gonna improve. Every team's gonna change throughout the year. I'm just focused on us. I'm sure every coach says that. I've seen us now 7 times. I know what we need to improve on, and as long as we're doing what we do well, we should be fine in all 4 games. Obviously, coming off last year, most coaches will have an expectation. I don't. I'm starting from scratch with this team, and from the first shift, seeing what we got and see kind of how it goes from there.
You mentioned you don't have expectations for this team. What expectations do you have for yourself as a coach this year, working with a younger squad compared to a more veteran squad from last year?
I mean, I learned a lot last year. It was my first year coaching female hockey, and some of the things, I maybe looking back at it, I can change. A younger squad just means more patience. I mean, it's a lot of fundamental work. I know last year, we with the veteran team, we were able to just kind of get things going a little bit earlier. This year, it's a lot more of the X's and O's, a little less X's and O's, and a little bit more of the basic skating, passing, stick handling, and it seems repetitive and a little mundane some days, but they bought in that that's kind of what they need to develop first before we can go anywhere further. And it's kind of let me take a step back and kind of coach from square one. So now everything that these girls learn comes from myself or Brad, and yeah, we kind of are molding them as if they've never played hockey before. That's kind of my approach.
So you're starting from ground one, foundation work here. I have to ask you this: is there a system you're trying to install for the players this year, or is it something where you want to see their skills and attributes come forward and then assess as we go?
Going into the year, I didn't have anything in place. I kind of wanted to see what we have. We're young, we're very gritty. I think that's the one thing that caught me by surprise was just how aggressive some of these girls play. A lot of them, I shouldn't say a lot, but a handful have come from boys hockey where they had body contact, and their biggest adjustment is, hey, we can't hit, So it's something where you're trying to kind of tone that down a touch and kind of showing them the proper body contact for female hockey. But no, it's one of those things that the system is, just, I don't know what you want to call it, running, gun, go, be aggressive, hard work, every cliche you can say. But as of right now, we're 7 games in. We haven't done a power play. We've done a couple breakouts, a little bit of forecheck, and that's about it. A lot of it is creativity. A lot of these girls, they don't have confidence with the puck yet. So a whole lot. I want to see what they can do and then kind of build off of what I see.
Perfect. So for this next 4 games, when it comes to the preparation and playing at home, bit of a home crowd, hydration, nutrition has got to be key for these ladies. From a coach's perspective, do you set up a schedule with them while they're in game mode on the weekend, or do you give them a little more leniency as well to that?
I'm a bit of a stickler, and the girls know that. When we're on the road, our meals are in times. A bit of a guideline on what I prefer to eat. When we're actually at home is when I have a little less control. Um, they're free to kind of go to the dorms and snack when they want. So there's less, control. It's like I said, some of these girls, we got 2 weekends of, 3 games in one and 4 in the other, and they feel the wear and tear. I think it's a bit of a wake up call that, I got to eat, I got to sleep, I got to do all that stuff. And, they're going to, I do, try to give them tips. But like I said, a part of the program like this is letting them be somewhat independent and kind of figuring that out themselves as well.
So now your second year of coaching the ladies program, the female program at PMHA. What do you look as a change from the first year to the second year for you personally?
Just, I got to be more patient. It was one of those things where I always say I don't coach boys hockey, girls hockey. It's the same game. I try really to not use the female description a lot. I don't treat them any different. Last year, I think I stressed that to the point where I was almost forcing it. I was trying to force something that didn't feel how I was explaining things, and now learning to kind of sit back and know that it's not necessarily boys hockey, girls hockey is different. It's just the level of hockey they're used to. Then I have to kind of adjust to where they've been, and not treat it like everybody's treat it more like it's a blank slate for everybody. And I have expectations on girls coming back, new girls. It's a fresh start for everybody. And like I said, it's ground one or ground zero, and building up kind of from scratch, as opposed to what returning girls last year and trying to build up something I didn't really feel comfortable.
So this is the first regular season. Good luck this weekend. We'll be down there with you for all 4 games. We look forward to being down at Pilot Mound, unlike in February when it gets a little bit chillier in the building. At Blackjack Stewart Arena, you got to put the woolies on, I'm sure. And I'm probably going to be a little bit premature on this, but when it comes to the team building exercises with their coach, the American Idol voice has not come out, correct?
No, that was one and done. Last year, eat my words. I promised them if they went 5-0 in the first weekend, I'd sing. And the 5th game went into overtime, and they won it. And I was a man of my word. I don't make promises this year. I just kind of, yeah.
Looking for good effort, looking for some team building chemistry. The home openers, Friday at 6 o'clock, couple on Saturday, and they finish it off, as we said, Sunday morning. Coach Harry, thank you for joining us here this fine evening. We look forward to seeing you Friday night, and look forward to doing it again.
Yeah, for sure. I'll see you guys there Friday night, and hopefully have a big performance this weekend.
We look forward to it. Coach Harry Mahesh with the Pilot Mound Hockey-Academy Buffaloes, the female team, the varsity female team, as they take on 4 opponents this weekend down in Pilot Mound. So if you're in the area and you want to come support the local team out, come do so. Should be some great hockey action from all over Western Canada, really. So we look forward to that. Harry, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.